Imagine you type a question into Google. What comes back? A wall of blue links, sponsored ads, SEO-stuffed articles written by people who never actually answered your question. You click the first link, then the second, then a third. 20 minutes later, you still don't have your answer. Now, imagine something completely different. You ask a question, and within seconds, you get a direct, sourced, accurate answer. No links to chase, no ads to skip, no noise. That tool exists right now, and most people have no idea how powerful it actually is. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why millions of people are quietly switching from Google to something that works fundamentally differently, and why Google is genuinely scared of it. Let's start with a simple question. What is wrong with search today? Google was built for a world that no longer exists. When it launched in 1998, the internet was a collection of simple pages that needed to be indexed and ranked. Google's job was to find the best page for your query and show it to you. That worked brilliantly for a while. But the internet changed. SEO became an industry. Billions of dollars were poured into gaming Google's algorithm. Today, if you search for almost anything, the top results are not the most accurate or the most useful. They are the most optimized. They are pages written specifically to rank on Google, not to help you. And then came ads. Today, more than half of Google's first-page results are either paid ads or SEO-engineered content designed to sell you something. The actual information you needed, it's buried somewhere on page 2. This is not a small problem. This is a crisis in how the world accesses information. And into this crisis, something new arrived. Perplexity AI launched in 2022 with a radically different idea. Instead of showing you links, it reads the web for you. It searches hundreds of sources in real time, synthesizes the information, and gives you a direct answer, with citations attached to every single claim. You can see exactly where each piece of information came from. You can verify it in one click. No more hunting, no more digging. Think of the difference this way. Google is a library that hands you a list of books that might contain your answer. Perplexity is a researcher who goes into that library, reads the books, and comes back to tell you exactly what you needed to know. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and this is something most people don't talk about. Perplexity doesn't just search, it reasons. When you ask a complex question, it doesn't just find a source and copy-paste. It breaks the question down, searches multiple angles simultaneously, cross-references the findings, and assembles a coherent answer. This is called pro-search, and it reads over 300 sources for one query. 300 sources for one answer in under a minute. But that's still the surface. What really changed everything was a feature called Deep Research. Launched in early 2025, Deep Research does something no search engine in history has ever done before. You give it a complex research task, something that would take a professional researcher hours to complete, and it runs autonomously. It formulates a plan, executes dozens of simultaneous searches, cross-references conflicting information, and produces a full report with an executive summary, a timeline, and sourced recommendations. The whole thing takes 2 to 4 minutes. To understand how significant this is, consider this. On one of the hardest AI benchmarks ever created, a test designed to stump the most advanced AI systems in the world, Perplexity's Deep Research scored 21.1%. That number outperformed models from OpenAI and other frontier AI labs. A research task that would cost a management consultant hundreds of dollars in billable hours, Deep Research does it for free on the basic plan or with a $20 a month pro subscription. And the growth numbers tell you everything. In mid-2024, Perplexity was handling around 230 million searches per month. By mid-2026, estimates put that number between 1.2 and 1.5 billion monthly queries. That is not gradual adoption. That is a revolution happening in slow motion, and most people are still watching from the sidelines. So who is actually using this, and what are they using it for? Researchers use it to scan academic literature and get synthesized answers with paper citations in minutes instead of hours. Students use it to get explained answers with sources they can actually read and verify, not ChatGPT-style responses that sound confident but cite nothing.
Professionals use it to monitor industry news, competitor activity, and market changes. Developers use it as a knowledge retrieval tool built into their workflows. Even casual users are switching simply because the experience of getting an answer feels different, cleaner, faster, more trustworthy. But here's what nobody is saying out loud. This is an existential threat to Google. Google's entire business model depends on you clicking links. Every click sends you to a publisher's website. Every website has ads. Google takes a cut. The whole architecture of the modern internet, how content is funded, how publishers survive, how information is distributed, is built on the assumption that search engines show links and users click them. Perplexity doesn't show you links to click, it gives you the answer. And that single shift breaks an economic model that has powered the internet for 20 years. Today, roughly 60% of all searches are already zero-click, meaning users get their answer without visiting any website. Perplexity is accelerating that trend dramatically. This is why Perplexity is facing serious legal pressure. The New York Times filed a lawsuit in late 2025 alleging that Perplexity scraped paywalled articles, bypassed security systems, and synthesized journalism into AI summaries, making the original articles unnecessary to visit. That case is ongoing, and it points to a real tension at the heart of this technology. If AI reads the web and gives you the answers, what happens to the people who created the content the AI is reading? There's no clean answer to that question yet, but it is the question that will define the next decade of the internet. Now, let's talk about what Perplexity actually is, not in abstract terms, but what you can do with it today. The free version gives you real-time web search, cited answers, basic file uploads, and limited access to Pro Search. It's genuinely useful at zero cost. The Pro plan at $20 a month unlocks unlimited Pro Search with 300+ sources per query, deep research mode, the ability to choose which AI model powers your search, including GPT and Claude, image generation, and higher file upload limits. There's also a feature called Spaces, which lets you organize research projects, save searches, and collaborate with others. And in October 2025, Perplexity launched Comet, a full AI-native browser built around the same philosophy as the search engine. Within 48 hours of its iOS launch, Comet reached number 3 on the US App Store. The vision here is clear. Perplexity is not trying to be a better search engine. It's trying to replace the entire experience of finding information on the internet. Search, browser, research assistant, all unified around a single idea. Give people answers, not links. Is it perfect? No. Like every AI system, it can hallucinate, generate confident-sounding answers that are wrong. For medical decisions, legal analysis, or anything high stakes, you should always verify through authoritative primary sources. It's better suited for factual queries than for deep reasoning or creative tasks, and its coverage of niche or local topics is still less comprehensive than Google's index. But here's the thing. The trajectory matters more than the current state. In 2 years, Perplexity went from 0 to 1.5 billion monthly queries. Its accuracy on factual claims is at 94% with verified source attribution. Its deep research mode outperforms models that cost significantly more to run. And it's sitting on a $20 billion valuation with serious investors backing its next moves. Google built the most valuable company in history by making information accessible. Perplexity is building something by making information understandable. That's a different and potentially far more powerful idea. The next time you find yourself clicking through page after page of search results, wondering why it has to be this hard to find a simple answer, remember that it doesn't have to be. The alternative already exists, and it's getting better every single month.